Sheriff's Office is rolling out new equipment for the Erie County Holding Center. 175 body cameras are now readily available for their officers and guards.
There are already over 100 body cams in use at the County Correctional Facility in Alden. To talk more about this, right now we are joined by Sheriff John Garcia. Sheriff, thank you so much for coming in this afternoon.
Thank you, Jordan. Dave?
So let's talk about this rollout. Why bring body cams to county jails?
It's another investigative tool for all of us, and we're not the first in the nation. We're probably one of the last in the nation to have these. So, I'm proud to say that now we have everyone that's working both in Alden and at the holding center, and they're working. They have body-worn cameras. It's about transparency. It's about that trust that the public has in law enforcement. It's about accountability, and holding our staff and also the incarcerated individuals accountable for their actions. And, the last part is to, investigate those complaints that are justified or unjustified and make it quicker and get those responses back.
Western New York has been dealing with two situations where police have had to use deadly force. They have had to use their weapons in each of these cases. One in Buffalo just this past weekend, and then one a few weeks ago in Hamburg. Two very different stories because of the fact that one had body cameras, one did not. What does a situation, an example like that, tell you as a law enforcement leader in Erie County?
There's no substitution for the integrity of law enforcement, the truthfulness, getting down to the facts. The body-worn cameras are just another tool. Now, in the incident that happened in Buffalo, we all saw, obviously there's body cameras in Hamburg. We didn't see it. So if I was the officer, I would want the body camera to be there to show exactly what happened. It's a tragedy, and let me tell you, it's something that officer has to live with the rest of their lives. Yeah. Also, the tragedy that occurs. But it shows the public, hey, it's not an easy job. You put on a vest, you put a gun on, you go out there, you don't know what's going to happen that day. So yeah, no, I think it's obvious that every case where there's a body-worn camera, the public says, okay, I see what happened. It was justified.
So these were first rolled out in Alden. How did things go there since being rolled out?
So, Jordan, the staff, as all of us, would be concerned about their own privacy. Are they listening to our conversations with our spouses? Are they checking, are they on when we're going to the restroom and having lunch? Absolutely not. Okay, so it was important to get that squared away. And anything that has to do with policy and procedures and then handing down discipline, I wanted to make sure that everybody understood how they function, what we're looking for. But, the staff, they love it. Because what happens is there's many times where there's unjustified grievances by incarcerated individuals. That's cleared up quickly and we move on. So it takes a lot of hours away from investigators and it clears your name. Now we have it at the holding center. The holding center also, as we know, was built in 1939. So my first year in office, 2 years ago, what we did were put a lot of cameras in all those blind spots because that place was built for somebody not to escape. So it's closed. I got to thank the county legislature, all the members, both sides of the aisle. They wanted it, we wanted it, the public wanted it. I'm proud to say it's in effect.
You mentioned the holding center. I do have to ask the question in that vein. Of course, the holding center has had tremendous problems with inmates either committing suicide, being harmed either allegedly or in fact by jail guards or jail deputies. Here we have Richard Metcalf, the case of the man who was beaten to death inside, according to the State Commission on Corrections, beat to death inside, strangled to death inside the holding center. That is a civil trial that is ongoing as we speak. All of that preceded your time in the sheriff's office to be elected to the Erie County Sheriff. All of that did, at least the cases that I'm mentioning now. How would that advent of having video when those things would have happened, whether it's that situation or another story, it seems like that would have increased the level of transparency a tremendous amount, so it could have perhaps avoided millions of dollars of taxpayers footing the bill for these problems.
Well, again, that's why body-worn cameras are so important. That's why cameras throughout the Erie County Holding Center and the correctional facility are so important. If we would have had cameras in certain incidents, we would have quickly been able to investigate those cases. Now we're talking about cases from 2013, today. This is all stored away. We could see what actually transpired. And you know what? The jail deputies, they want them. The corrections officers want them. The police officers on the street want them. And it's not a case of, law enforcement not wanting them. It's that we didn't have the funds. Now we have the funds. I want to thank the legislators for giving us the funds, both sides of the aisle. And it's an investigative tool that the State Attorney General's office, when incidents do occur, now they have that tool to see, all the different angles. And the three of us could be somewhere, and there's a tragic accident that occurs, and investigators will ask us what happened. And all three of us will have a different story, because that's how trauma works, So it's important to protect those in our custody. And I would want a camera in every cell for the well-being and safety of every incarcerated individual. But there's a fine line between that and protecting people's privacy, and that's why they're not allowed.
All right. Erie County Sheriff John Garcia, thank you so much for taking the time to come in and talk with us.
Thank you, Jordan. Dave, thank you.
Thanks, Sheriff. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
All right, let's send things over to Chief Meteorologist Todd